This is Professor Miller. This is for week 3, which we're going to be talking about product design and product introduction for operations. My background for that is having been the project manager for new product introduction for the Thompson plant again for 15 years. And during that time, we did well over 15 major new product introductions, as well as scores of minor variants off the product we had at that time. Several of the key points we need to be making, or you need to understand, is with new product introduction, with product strategy, your organization can either be a product leader, a product follower, or an also-ran. So the advantage for having a product leader strategy is your organization can set the definition of what that product is. And not only do you set the definition what the product is, but that means that you get to define the size, the shape, and the major features that are in that product. If you come on after that, you won't be thought of as the technology leader. You'll be an also-ran. Okay, that's not necessarily bad as long as you have good technology, but you also need to realize that you're setting up a you have to fit what the standard process or product is. Okay. Now, during that time, we did product introductions and product changes, not only for developing new product for the market. We also had new product, or we did changes to the product where we redesigned the product to save costs, change some of our processing steps, and overall improve the manufacturability of our product. And that's a key type of product change or product design change. So those are all part and parcel. And you'd be surprised, saving a couple pennies a part doesn't sound like much, but when you multiply that over 10,000, 100,000, even 1,000,000 times over the course of 2, 3, or 4 years, you suddenly can save a lot of money for your organization, as well as save money that can be then spent developing new product or new automation, new machinery, those kinds of things. It's really a crucial thing, and if you're with an organization long enough and you're looking around and asking, okay, we haven't had a new product introduction in a while, you need to be looking around and going, okay, what can we do? Is there a new project coming out, new product coming out, new design coming out? Is there a change of design? What can I do to help? But the other thing you need to be looking for is what is happening with the organization that they're not putting out new products. Okay. One of the things they talk about in the book is concurrent engineering. Okay. When I first started with the company, the classic new product development cycle was design engineering would design the parts, process engineering would take those parts and figure out what would change in the process. They'd again go to the equipment engineering folks and go, okay, design your equipment and equipment modifications to work with these parts. And then all three of them would then go to purchasing and go, purchasing, we need some sample parts. Okay, this whole process would typically take 2 full years. Okay, by the end, we would make the decision, okay, the organization would make the decision, we're going to do a new product design or new product introduction. What would then happen is design engineering would get the outlines of what the product would look like. At the same time, they'd be sharing information and data with process engineering, and they would all be talking at the same time to equipment engineering about what would be needed, and they'd all be working at the same time. Meanwhile, as soon as they had a design that was close enough to go to purchasing and go, look, we need to start getting a vendor working on making these parts for us. And they would all work together in a very tight time frame as well as tight communication regime. Okay. Now, it was helped some by, originally we were dealing with paper drawings, and at the end of the time we were dealing with CAD drawings, okay, electronic transfer of the design, which is much faster, much more real time, and it's a much more clear communication methodology. But from that, we were making new product introduction cycles in less than a year. Now, the long pole on that usually was production volumes of purchased materials, and that had to do with assuring we had the correct gauge stock of sheet metal, as well as the automation and equipment changes that we would need. And typically those would take 3 to 6 months to actually get on the factory floor. So the change from serial engineering to concurrent engineering is a crucial thing, but the trade-off for concurrent engineering is you have to have really, really tight communications and constant feedback throughout all the groups, including manufacturing engineering, has to be brought in as early as possible so that everyone's aware of what it takes to put this new product into the operations. So, with that, please read through the material. Please take a look at the assignment and let me know if you have questions. Again, I'm trying to be live online, reacting to anything on Thursday evenings. Thanks, folks.